Entrelazamientos es la primera exposición en España de la artista japonesa Yuko Mohri y está organizada con Pirelli Hangar Bicocca de Milán. Muestra 8 esculturas cinéticas emblemáticas de distintos periodos de la carrera artística de Yuko Mohri, además de un nuevo cuerpo de pinturas que la artista realizó durante la instalación en el espacio del Centro Botín y que de alguna manera visualizan la relación dinámica entre energías y materia que se da en la exposición.
I'm mainly making an installation using everyday objects, included like a cheap material like a plastic bottle tube, which is we can find it everywhere. Also musical instruments, also some devices. I don't choose like a one specific method to express my things, so that my installation have a different type of the skill and methodology.
Durante su época de estudiante, ella frecuentaba un barrio de Tokio que se llama Akihabara, en el cual vendían todo tipo de materiales electrónicos que podía de alguna manera hackear e incorporar a sus esculturas.
I'm based in Tokyo. My art practice mostly developed in Tokyo, so that's why you can see some mechanical stuff.
Pero hay además un elemento absolutamente sutil en su trabajo. Podemos entender sus esculturas como ecosistemas vivos, porque están siendo influidos por estas energías inestables que nos rodean en nuestro día a día, como por ejemplo la humedad, la luz o el magnetismo.
The I/O is using roll paper as a structure is like the printing system without ink. So instead of ink, the paper rotating slowly during all period of the installation, and then to have many elements like a dust or humidity. You can see some optical sensor on the top. It's reading the tiny differences on the surface of the paper and then sending the random signal to the devices. So you can see sometimes very active, sometimes not active. I want to show this piece front of the window. It's because it's changing the expression depends on the like a weather or humidity too. Magnetic organ, which is most old installation, I made in almost 20 years ago when I was students. So in that time, I already interested about invisible forces surrounding our life. For example, electricity making a magnetic force, but also this Earth is a giant magnet. We have so many magnetic fields in our life, but it's kind of we can't listen, we can't see. So in that time, I wanted to make the invisible sculpture. There are so many coils in that installation. The square one is making a strong magnetic field using an amplifier. And then the small one, it's actually mobile. It's moving randomly. And sometimes receiving the force from the square coil. And so you can see some tiny sounds, also some tiny lights, which is the actually generated invisible forces generated by small coils as energy.
Podemos encontrar una serie de referentes en la obra de Yuko Mohri con los que sus instalaciones dialogan. Por ejemplo, los móviles de Calder, esas estructuras suspendidas del espacio expositivo que son dinámicas y se mantienen en un frágil equilibrio. También Duchamp y el ready-made y cómo el objeto cotidiano se introduce en el espacio expositivo de un museo o de un centro de arte.
So next project in More, which is using water and the plastic materials and metal materials, which is waterproof materials, is inspired about the natural phenomena happening in Tokyo Metro Station. we have many leaky spots, and then also the employee of the metro station tried to fix temporarily for protecting the customer using a plastic object. I was so surprised because it looks like an installation. It's not created by the artist, but the shape is so unique. Of course, I am an artist. I want to do something like that's beautiful sculpture, but without any leaky spot, I felt I just made like a fake. I did an experimentation, made the leaky spot to myself, artificially using a pump. So I just collected the waterproof items like a plastic bottle, kitchen tools, also laundry stuff. And then, front of the leaky situation, I tried to fix using that items, improvised way, and then bring back the water to original spot. I really kind of enjoy a collaboration with the shape of the water. It's like a negotiation between these unstable elements in the sculpture. The fountain I'm showing here as a new work. When I did a site visit in Central Botin, the venue is so perfect to front of the entire water from the gallery space we can see. So it's like a kind of conversation with real ocean and the small waves made by my fountains. Fruits as itself is like stable, looks stable, but actually in the day by day it's going to be decay. So you actually can see how to change the shape and smell slowly. Back to 20 years ago, I did an experimentation. I eat banana every day, and then suddenly the banana shape looks like electric components of the resistance. And then the resistance is kind of controlling the shape of the electricity. So the one day, I just remember the article, fruits as self could through the electricity because it has a moisture level. So I wondered, this banana, how many resistance it has? And then simply I tested using tester. And then I was surprised the number is unstable all the time. After the 20 years, the COVID time, I remembered that experience, or maybe I can make some installation with fruits and then developing this installation, which is having sounds and also the lighting system, dimmer by fruits, and also volume and a tone. It's generated by the number from the fruits. You can listen the sounds and also illumination changing day by day in a routine process.
Pensando en la música experimental, podemos hablar de John Cage, el compositor, para el cual la música salía de los materiales de una manera azarosa, dejando el control del compositor a los objetos. O, por ejemplo, también Eric Satie, que acuña el término de música de mobiliario, una música ambiente con la que podemos convivir como si fueran, por ejemplo, los muebles de nuestra casa.
When you enter the gallery space, first thing you can see piano solo Costa Quebrata. I naturally curious about what is the landscape you have around this museum. And waves is the most interested the element for me too, because it's really changing shape and sound depend on the geography and also weather. And then we visited couple 5 or 6 spots of the ocean wave in Santander. And then it's completely different soundscape we received. It's really everything beautiful. So that piece is also I started during COVID protocol. And then I kind of escaped from the connection with society and then to focus about nature. We receive so many complex sounds all the time, but we normally we didn't care, in the daily life. But I focused to record it, and in that project, try to generate the piano sound. I personally love piano very much because I play over 12 years in my life, but all the time I liked the using piano instead of the practicing piano. So in that piece, the piano is still gorgeous, but it's imitated the natural sound. So you can see some like a conversation between natural like a soundscape in Santander between piano in that piece. The flutter, the installation located in the center of this gallery space, the organ play the notes, but it's actually the signal from as a collaborator. The goldfish swim freely, and you can notice the sensor around the aquarium. It's actually leading the movement of the goldfish. Also, the compass needle sometimes swinging by the force from the coil is actually making a magnetic force affected the movement of the compass needle. Also, the chain, it's swinging by movement of the spoon. So these type of touching the signal, it's also sending to the organ to make notes. You can listen some melody from the Yamaha organ, which is the product from 100 years ago. It's very, very old one. But I try to make a collaboration with like a natural movement elements in this gallery space. You locked me up in the grave. You own me at least in a piece in the grave. That was an installation having 4 rotating speaker and then 1 staircase, which is also rotating in the gallery space. I was interested about the shape of the spiral or like a movement as a spiral. In my installation, there are so many objects. It has a spiral motif like a coil, also loop. So it's one of the very familiar elements to my art practice. But on the other hand, the spiral is kind of exists in different way in our life, in a symbolic way. For example, we had a spiral in the ear or a spiral in the neck of the violin, the spiral in the decoration or like a textile. It's existing everywhere. So in that installation, you can see how much effect from the spiral movements, the shape of the sound and the lighting system is really having a different expression. During the process for the installation, I was so busy, but on the other hand, I kind of felt in front of this beautiful window, put in a sculpture, I felt like making a drawing. So I just generated this practice on the canvas. It's actually the canvas made by the cover of the speaker. It's a really thin textile.
Creo que la exposición revela un placer por hacer, una manera de comprender la belleza de lo cotidiano y una fascinación por la experimentación constante que dan a Yuko Mohri un lenguaje acústico, un lenguaje visual que es profundamente inconfundible y singular. Animamos a todos los visitantes del Centro Botín que formen parte de este entrelazamiento, que puedan de alguna manera con su presencia alterar sutilmente los ecosistemas vivos de Yuko Mohri.